Hey friends, Jamie here at m1yarns.com, back with a finished object review video. This is the Ripple Halter by Jesssie Maed Designs. If you are new here, let me tell you something I have told my viewers 1,001 times probably, but I love all things Jesssie Maed. She is talented, she's lovely, she's funny, and I just cannot get enough of her designs. I hate purling, I hate ribbing, but I will knit any ribbed design that Jessie designs. And this is no exception. So let me get up close so you can see this. This is a 3x3 rib design, obviously in a halter situation. When I saw this pattern being teased recently on Instagram, I was like, oh my God, I have to make that. I just love it. I thought it would be so great for those hot summer days where you just want like minimal body coverage. And yeah, so this was really fun to knit, but I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So buckle up. Where should we start? Well, the yarn is my own hand-dyed yarn on the Lean Mean machine base. This colorway, which I'll get close again so you can see all the nuances. I'm sure the camera is focusing more on my face. There we go, a little bit. It's got lots of browns and turquoise and like rust burgundies, just a ton of shades. This is a colorway called Freshwater Jewels, which I dyed exclusively for the yarn shop in Cedar, Michigan called Wool and Honey. If you don't already follow Wool and Honey on Instagram, you need to. They are amazing. They have a great yarn subscription club called the Sleeping Bear Dunes Yarn Club. And every month they partner up with indie dyers such as myself, and they bring you awesome kits that include all sorts of goodies. Anyway, a few months ago, I was the featured dyer, and this was the colorway I created. I, of course, had to dye some for myself. So this was a little treat yourself moment for me. This colorway is not available and won't be for about 9 more months. So we'll call it a baby. If you're interested, stay tuned 9 months and I'll bring you the baby. Anyway, no mom, I'm not having a baby. Okay, so the yarn we talked about, the pattern. I am a 36 bust-ish and I knit the size 2. I went down a needle size because I'm a loose knitter. I typically go down a needle size for everything I knit. I always go down a needle size for Jessie Maed patterns. I don't even do a gauge swatch. I just know what I'm doing with her patterns. What can I say? It started off fast. I had a lot of momentum. And then when I got down to here, I kind of crashed and burned. I was running a sprint and it is a marathon. But that's just me. I got down to here, I joined, so you knit this in the round, you split, you knit the front and the back, and then I joined here, and I don't know if it was burnout or what, but I was going a little too fast, so pace yourself, it's ribbing. One thing I do want to mention that's really important that I did here, I knew I wanted less side boob, if for nothing else, because I knew I wanted to wear a bra, and, you know, it was like, am I going to be able to find a bra that's going to work with this much side angle, this much openness here? And I am wearing a bra. It's a strapless. I do have a little garment tape action going here, just for purposes of making sure we don't have any flying parts during the video. But I will say this, one of the testers for Jessie's test knit had some notes that I took to heart, and I highly recommend this if you want a little more coverage. And then I'm going to add in what I would do differently. So I knit a size 2. When she joined the front and the back and she picked up stitches here, let's say she was knitting the size 2, she picked up the number of stitches here for a size 1. So she had fewer stitches here. I did that too. And I think that was the right decision for me. If I had to do it all over again, I would also knit this opening on the front and the back on both sides shorter. So I would probably, in other words, to make the armhole shorter. If you can imagine where this hand is, I don't want to see all this. That's just me. So I would stop these increases an inch shorter, still do the one size down pickup, and there you go. You'll have a closer, more conservative fit, if you will. That's a tip. From there, so here you have increases, and then in the pattern you have this like shaping feature. I did it, and then I tried it on, and I was like, something's not right. I knew I had made some mistakes. I also think I had, so it's that shaping is done by increases on one side and decreases on another that end up creating like a diagonal look in the stitches. And I think I was increasing in this section, but not decreasing here. And so like this part was just flaring out. It was really weird. It was completely operator error. I had a whole situation going on that was not right. So, and I didn't enjoy knitting that section. So what I decided was, let's put the fun back in it. I ripped back to about here, where the, if you look at the design, where this line situation starts, right under the bust, I ripped back to there, and I just knit it in 3x3 ribbing straight down. I said, forget these, you know, increases and decreases and diagonals and complications. Forget it. Let's keep it simple. Once it's on my body, really what's important is the fit. And I wasn't that big of a fan of this diagonal situation, mostly because I'm a little self-conscious of my stomach region. And I felt like for me and my body issues, it was like a big arrow pointing at something that I'm sensitive about. So I thought, I will feel more comfortable in my skin in this top if it's straight down. Plus, I don't have very wide hips. The skirt I'm wearing is making me look a little more hippie. So if I pull it down tight, you can kind of see I do have a rather straight, like boyish figure. And I thought the straight lines would work better for my body shape, I guess. I'm all about knitting for your body. So figure out what makes you feel good and go with it. So I'm really glad that I made that modification. It ended up being that I ripped out quite a bit of length and did a whole bunch more ribbing, but I was pretty happy I did it. It paid off. Now I'm pretty happy. I do have this tucked into the skirt, just because I think the skirt waistband is super cute. I love how this looks. It does end just like right here. So it's just enough to tuck in if I want, but if I was wearing the right pair of jeans or whatever, it would look great. Otherwise, I just picked a length that I thought, you know, would work. So that's another tip. I do think that because I knit this in a very speckly-ish variegated yarn, you do lose some of the design detail. So if it's important for you to see that ribbing structure of the lines, then I would encourage you to pick a colorway that is a solid and probably on the lighter half of the color spectrum. Light grays, creams, light whatever. I think the darker the color, the more you're going to lose some of that rib detail. So that's another note. For me, I didn't care so much about that. For me, this top was more about this structure and the halter detail. I didn't care about losing the rib lines. On some of those test knits that I've seen of the design rather, I do love seeing the rib lines. Like there's a light gray one that almost looks a little bit fuzzy. I think it might be a cashmere, and that one looks really nice. I would love to knit this again like that. So I think it's worth it to compare a lot of different lights and darks and variegated and solids before you pick a yarn for this to decide how you want yours to look on you. All that being said, another great Jesssie Maed pattern. I would knit anything of hers. Her patterns are well written. They walk you through step by step, and they are very approachable for the less experienced maker. So thanks for joining me here for another finished object review.